After my fiancé cheated on me with my sister, my family took their side. They invited them to Christmas and told me not to come. My mom sneered, "Don't be petty, they're in love." My sister smirked, "He chose the better woman." Just smiled and said, "You've all shown me exactly who you are." For months later, I made a decision that blew the family to pieces. Hello everyone. Thank you for being here with me today. Before I begin my story, I'd love to know which city you're joining us from. Please feel free to share in the comments. Now, let me take you into this story. It started like it always does. Just weird vibes. You know those weeks where you just keep thinking something's off, but you can't quite put your finger on it? That was me last November. My fiancé, Keith, suddenly got obsessed with his phone. And I don't mean just scrolling TikToks like the rest of us. I mean, obsessed. Always checking it for messages, and then tilting the screen away whenever I walked into the room. I remember one night, it was a Tuesday, I think. We were on the couch, supposed to be watching some dumb show on Netflix. I was curled up, feet tucked under me, and he was sitting just a little too far away, you know? Just an inch or two more than usual. His phone was in his lap, face down. It buzzed. He picked it up so fast, you'd think it was a rattlesnake. I saw him smile, that little private smile, you know? The one that isn't for you. He started typing, fast, with both thumbs. "Who's that?" I asked, trying to sound casual, like I was just making conversation. He didn't even look up. "Oh, just work stuff." Thompson's being an idiot again. At 9 o'clock at night? It felt wrong. Thompson was his boss, and they didn't exactly have a texting buddies relationship. But I let it go. I trusted him. We were planning a wedding, for God's sake. I was looking at venues, I had a binder, and he was supposed to be in this with me. But he'd been distant. I told myself it was stress about the wedding, about the promotion he was up for at work. Then there was the other thing. My sister, Brenda. My family, you gotta understand, revolves around Brenda. She's the golden child. Always has been. She's the star, the wild one, the one with the big personality. Everything she does is just so impressive. She moves to a new city? Oh, she's so brave. She quits a job? She's following her passion. She gets a new, terrible boyfriend? She's just living life to the fullest. I'm just Judith. I'm the other one. The reliable one. The one who calls mom every Sunday at 10 a.m. sharp. The one who remembers birthdays and anniversaries and who's allergic to what? The one who shows up. I'm not being dramatic. That's just how our parents have always been. I'm the wallflower. I'm the backup plan. Brenda had been living out of state for a while, trying to be an influencer or something, and now she was coming back into town for the holidays. To hear my mom talk about it, you'd think it was the second coming. I was on the phone with her, trying to discuss flower arrangements for the wedding, stressing over peonies versus roses. "Mom, the florist needs a deposit, and I'm just not sure if the white hydrangeas are going to look." "Oh, Judith, that's nice, honey," she cut me off, her voice suddenly bright and loud. "But did I tell you? Brenda found the cutest little apartment. It's in that new building downtown. She's so thrilled to be coming home. We have to throw her a welcome back dinner. I need to start planning." I just sighed, staring at my spreadsheet of flower prices. "Yeah, Mom, you told me." That's great. "We'll do it at the Palm," she went on, not even hearing me. "She'll love that. I'll call them right now." So, Brenda comes back. And the welcome home dinner was a lot. We all went out to the Palm, my parents' favorite, expensive steakhouse. I wore a new dress, a nice blue one Keith had said he liked. He barely noticed. He just looked distracted. Brenda walked in, 10 minutes late, all hair and teeth and a laugh that was just way too loud. She was full of stories about her crazy life, the drama she was leaving behind, the fresh start she was so excited about. My parents they hung on her every word. Dad was laughing louder than I'd heard him laugh in months. And Keith, he seemed impressed. Really impressed. He was leaning forward, smiling at her stories. Wow, he said, shaking his head. Sounds like you've had an adventure. Oh, you don't know the half of it, Brenda said, giving him that high-wattage smile. Now I've just got to move all my junk. My car is packed. I don't know how I'm going to get my sofa up the stairs. And Keith, my fiancé, jumped right in. Hey, don't worry about it. If you need help moving any of that heavy furniture, just let me know. I'm pretty good with that stuff. Brenda lit up. Oh, would you? You're a lifesaver. Judith, she said, turning to me for the first time all night, you don't mind if I borrow him, right? Just for an afternoon? Of course not, I said, forcing a smile. He's just being nice. I felt a little pang. A weird, possessive pang that I hated. I told myself to shut up. He was just being nice. That's what good people did. But nice started turning into something else. A few days later, I had plans for a date night with Keith. We were finally going to try that new restaurant I'd been wanting to go to. I'd made the reservation weeks in advance. I got home from work, I did my hair, I put on makeup, I even wore the good earrings. I was excited. We needed this. And my phone buzzed. 6 p.m. An hour before our reservation. It was Keith. Hey, babe. So sorry. Brenda's car is making a really weird noise, sounded like the transmission. She was stranded on the side of the road. I told her I'd take a look. Gonna be a while. Rain check? I stared at the text. Stranded? Her cute new apartment was literally 3 blocks from a mechanic. I even knew the name of the place. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I wanted to say, can't she call AAA? I wanted to say, what about our dinner? But I was Judith. The reliable one. The understanding one. Okay, I typed back. Is she all right? Yeah, she's fine. Just shaken up. I'll handle it. Talk later. I took off the earrings. I wiped off the makeup. I ordered a pizza and ate it straight out of the box, watching TV. I told myself I was being stupid. He was just being a good guy. A good future brother-in-law. But the weird vibes just kept getting stronger. A few nights after that, I was at home, just paying some bills, trying to get my wedding budget spreadsheet to make sense. I decided to call him. Just to say goodnight. He picked up on the 4th ring. Hey, you, I said, trying to sound breezy. What are you up to? Oh, hey, he said. He sounded rushed. Out of breath, almost. Not much. Just at Home Depot. Grabbing some spackle. You know, that patch in my bathroom wall I've been meaning to fix. And then I heard it. Clear as day, in the background. A laugh. Not just any laugh. Brenda's laugh. It's this high-pitched cackle that you can hear a mile away. You can't mistake it. My blood went cold. Home Depot? It's almost 10 p.m. Yeah, they're open late, he said, way too quickly. Hey, listen, I'm at the checkout. I gotta go. I'll text you. Click. He hung up. He didn't text me. I sat there, on my couch, the phone in my hand. Just frozen. He lied. He just straight up lied to my face. Why? Why would he lie about being with my sister? I trusted him. I loved him. But stupid little things started adding up. The lies started to get sloppy. I'd ask him to come over to my place, and he'd bail. Always some lame excuse. He had to help my mom with something. Or he was too tired from work. But then I'd see the pictures. I was trying to just get my life in order. I was at my apartment, trying to address save the date cards. My hand was cramping. I'd had plans with Keith. Again. Just a simple, come over and help me with these and we'll order takeout. He texted me around 5 p.m. Got pulled into a late meeting, babe. Absolutely slammed. I'm just going to crash at my place tonight. Exhausted. So sorry. Rain check? I texted back, okay. Feel better. Love you. He just hearted the message. So, I'm sitting there, my hand aching, feeling lonely. Just lonely. I was scrolling through Instagram, just trying to numb my brain, trying not to feel sorry for myself. My friend Valerie texted me. Isn't that Brenda's new account? I clicked the link. Brenda had started a new back home Instagram. Brenda in the big city was now Brenda takes home. Or something equally stupid. And she posted to her story. My thumb hovered, and then I tapped it. It was a video. A short, blurry video from a crowded bar. I could hear the music thumping. Brenda was filming her cocktail, some bright blue thing with an umbrella in it. She was giggling. Then the camera panned up, just for a second, to show her cheers ing someone. My heart stopped. I replayed it. And again. And again. There was no sound but the music. But the man she was cheering with, the man whose arm was slung casually over the back of her chair. He was wearing a brown leather jacket. The brown leather jacket I bought Keith for his 30th birthday. The one he said he only wore for special occasions. I felt this hot, sick flash crawl up my neck. My phone felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. It was him. The exhausted man. The slammed with work fiancé. My fingers were shaking. I texted him. How was the meeting? It took him 10 minutes to reply. Awful. Just awful. So tired. Heading to bed. Good night, babe. I just stared at the message. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I knew. I knew I wasn't crazy. But what did I do? I still didn't think they were, together. I just thought. I don't know what I thought. Maybe they were just being weird about hanging out without me for some reason. God, I was so stupid. So then the real fun starts. My family's got this big group chat. Miller Madness. Like most people do. My mom was deep in Christmas planning. We've always hosted at my parents' house. Every single year. I never miss it. I'm not super into the holidays, but I always show up. It's just what you do. Mom was coordinating. Who's bringing the sweet potato casserole? Brenda, honey, do you want me to make your favorite pecan pie? The one with the extra bourbon? Dad, you're on turkey duty. I texted into the group, Keith and I can bring the wine and the green bean casserole. The chat went silent. Just dead. For, like, a minute. Which, in a group chat, feels like an hour. And then, ping. A new message. But it wasn't in the group chat. It was a private message. From my mom. My heart just sank. I knew. Before I even opened it, I knew this was bad. This was that feeling. That something's off feeling, but magnified by 1,000. I tapped it open. Judith, honey. I need to ask you something. And please don't make a big deal out of this. I stared at the screen. Don't make a big deal? My throat tightened. With everything that's happened, well, maybe it's best if you skip Christmas Eve at the house this year. It's going to be too awkward. I literally could not breathe. My brain just short-circuited. What happened? Awkward? What is she talking about? I read the words again. Skip Christmas Eve. Too awkward. I typed back, my fingers fumbling, Mom? What are you talking about? What's happened? I don't understand. She didn't reply. The little delivered receipt just sat there, mocking me. I scrolled back up through the Miller Madness group chat, thinking I must have missed something. And I had. A few messages from earlier that day, while I was at work. I just scrolled right past them. Dad, we just need everyone to be mature about this. Brenda, exactly, Dad. No reason to make a scene. A scene. A scene about what? My hands were shaking. I left my mom on read and texted Keith. Frantic. My mom just told me not to come for Christmas. She said it would be awkward. What is going on? Keith, what did you do? Please talk to me. The 3 little dots popped up. He was typing. Then they stopped. Then they started again. Finally, a message popped up. A single, cowardly, gut punch of a message. I'm sorry, Judith. This is for the best. What is for the best? What? I was done with texting. I was done. I actually called my mom. I was so sick of the games, of the whispers, of this feeling. She answered on the second ring, her voice all breezy, like she was expecting a call from a friend. Oh, hi, honey. I was just about to. Mom, I cut her off. My voice was tight. I was standing in my kitchen, gripping the counter so hard my knuckles were white. You need to tell me what is happening. Right. Now. There was this long, heavy sigh on the other end. And then her voice changed. It got cold. The breezy, happy mom was gone. Judith, please. Don't be petty. Petty? I almost yelled it. Petty? You just uninvited me from Christmas and you won't tell me why. What are you? They're in love, honey. The words just hung there. In the air. They didn't make sense. It was like she was speaking a different language. What did you say? I whispered. I said, they're in love, she repeated, and her voice was full of this annoyed patience. Like I was the one being difficult. Brenda and Keith. They're together. It's serious, and you just need to try and be happy for them. I just went silent. I couldn't make a sound. I think I was laughing, but it was just this choked, empty noise that came out of my throat. Is this a joke? I finally managed to get out. Mom, are you joking? This isn't funny. Of course I'm not joking, Judith, don't be. And then I heard a scuffle. Like the phone was being grabbed away from her. And then her voice came on the line. Brenda. Sharp, smug, and triumphant. She's not joking, Judy, she sneered. She always called me Judy when she was being cruel. He chose the better woman. You should just accept it and take the L. I hung up. I just dropped the phone. It clattered onto the kitchen counter. I sat there on my floor, shaking. Just shaking. I felt nothing. Not even anger. Just static. Like the world had just stopped. My fiancé. My sister. My mother. Ping. My phone lit up again on the counter. A new text message. From Dad. I don't know why I looked. I shouldn't have. But I did. I crawled over and picked it up. I opened it. Your mother told me you called. Stop acting like a victim. You were never good enough for him anyway. And that was it. That was the kill shot. The moment everything broke. It wasn't just Keith. It wasn't just Brenda. It was all of them. My entire family. They had all just decided. Without me. My father. You were never good enough. I don't even know how to describe what that felt like. It was nothing. Just a void. I stood up. My legs felt like they were full of sand. I walked into my bedroom. My wedding dress was hanging on the back of the door, in its pristine white garment bag. I just looked at it. For a long, long second. Then I turned away. I grabbed a suitcase from the top of the closet. I packed. Toothbrush. Jeans. A few sweaters. My laptop. I moved like a robot. Numb. Luckily, most of my apartment was still in boxes. I'd been planning to move in with Keith right after the holidays. The irony was so bitter, it almost made me gag. I just started grabbing boxes. The ones that said kitchen everyday and books. The ones that said winter clothes. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just packed. I called my friend, Valery. My voice was flat. I don't even know how I sounded. Val? Can I come over? I can't be at my place. Valery, thank God for Valery. She's a true friend. She didn't ask why, or what happened. She didn't say, "Are you sure?" She just said, "The spare room is ready. The key is under the mat. Just come. We can talk. Or not. Whatever you need." "Thanks," I whispered, and hung up. I loaded my car. It took me 4 trips. I took one last look around my apartment. It was just empty. Stripped. I drove to Valerie's. It was raining. Or maybe that was just me, I don't know. I sat in my car outside her building for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. Just staring at the steering wheel, the engine ticking as it cooled. I scrolled through my phone. I looked at the messages again. My dad's. My mom's. Keith's. Brenda's. I didn't answer anyone. I didn't call anyone. I just opened the Miller Madness group chat one last time. It was full of nothing. Just my last message about the green bean casserole. Sitting there. I typed one message. "Thanks for showing me exactly who you all are. Makes it so damn easy to cut every one of you off." I hit send. Then I tapped leave chat. Then I went to my contacts. Block mom. Block dad. Block Brenda. Block Keith. I turned the engine off. I sat in the silence. And then, finally, a single, hot tear rolled down my cheek. And then another. But it wasn't sadness. It was rage. I couldn't believe. I just couldn't believe I let them treat me like this for so long. Because this wasn't just this. It's always been like this. Brenda always getting the better deal, the easier route, the star treatment. And me. I was just there to fill in the gaps when she wasn't around. To be the reliable one. Not anymore. I got out of the car. I grabbed my suitcase. And I went inside. Valery gave me a hug, pointed me to the spare room, and handed me a cup of tea. She didn't ask questions. I appreciated that. Living out of boxes in Val's spare room was about as miserable as it sounds. The room was small, painted a bright, cheerful yellow that just made me angry. It was filled with her old college textbooks and stuff she never unpacked from her last move. I couldn't even unpack my own things. I left half my boxes in the car because I didn't feel like explaining to anyone why I suddenly had my entire life, all my plates, my towels, my books, in the trunk of my sedan. The first few days just blurred. I kept waiting for someone, anyone, to text me from a number I didn't know, an email, something. To say it was all a joke. A sick, twisted family prank. But nothing. Just silence. Well, not total silence. More like the kind of silence where you know people are talking about you, just not to you. I'd wake up on the lumpy futon, stare at the ceiling, and just feel nothing. I'd go to work, I took a few days off, but I had to go back. I just sat at my desk. Stared at my computer. I'm sure my boss thought I was having a breakdown. Maybe I was. Christmas Day it was the worst day of my life. I stayed at Valery's. She'd invited me to her parents' place, but I couldn't. I couldn't be around a happy family. So I stayed. I told her I was fine, that I just needed to sleep. We ordered Chinese food the night before, and I just ate cold lo mein out of the carton and watched Die Hard. I tried not to think about what was happening at my parents' house. I tried not to picture them all sitting around the tree, opening presents, laughing. With him. His arm around her. The next day, my cousin Denise, she's always been my mom's little messenger, she just can't help herself, texted me. Judith, are you okay? I didn't see you at Christmas. Everyone was asking about you. My mom told me not to come, I texted back. My thumbs felt like lead. The little dots popped up. Oh my God. Judith. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. They just said you were under the weather. A minute later, another text. Oh, honey. Your mom, she just posted pictures. My hands started to shake. I'd blocked Mom and Dad, but I hadn't blocked Denise. Or Aunt Sarah. Or any of the others. I went to Facebook. It was the first time I'd opened it in days. And there it was. The family Christmas photo. My entire family, aunts, uncles, cousins, my parents, all smiling, wearing stupid matching red pajamas. And right in the center. Brenda and Keith. His arm was around her waist. They were holding hands. Beaming. Like they were the king and queen of the prom. And my mom's caption, so happy for these two. Finally. Finally. That one word. It was like a knife in my chest. Finally. As if this was what they'd always wanted. As if I was just the obstacle. The placeholder. The woman he was with until my better sister decided she wanted him. I didn't throw my phone. I just set it down. Very, very slowly. I went into Valery's bathroom and just stared at myself in the mirror. My face was pale. My eyes were red. I looked haunted. I didn't even recognize myself. The shock was gone. The numbness was gone. And all that was left was this cold, hard fury. I realized I'd spent years just letting them get away with treating me like this. Treating me like the backup plan. I was the one who helped my dad with his taxes every single year because Brenda wasn't good with numbers. I was the one who fixed my parents' broken Wi-Fi router 3 times last month, driving 45 minutes each way because Brenda couldn't figure it out. I was the one who drove my mom to her doctor's appointments, her colonoscopy, her physicals, because Brenda was always too busy with her important life. All the boring, thankless errands. It was just expected. Brenda never had to do any of that. My mom literally told me once, "Oh, honey, we just ask you because you're so much more reliable." She said it like it was a compliment. I wasn't just reliable. I was the one who handled all the boring stuff they couldn't be bothered with. And as I was standing there, staring at my own angry face, I started thinking. I wasn't just the reliable one. I was the responsible one. And I remembered. A few days later, I was at a coffee shop. Just trying to feel human. I'd called in sick to work. I couldn't face it. I had my laptop out, trying to organize my life. My new life. I was looking at my bank account, trying to figure out my budget now that everything was different. I had to find a new apartment. I had to get my boxes out of Valery's house. I had to start over. And I saw it. An automatic payment. Miller Property LLC mortgage. It hit me like a ton of bricks. The rental property. I remembered the day so clearly. It was about 2 years ago. I was at my parents' house for Sunday dinner. After, Mom and Dad sat me down in the living room. That serious talk couch. "Honey," my mom started, wringing her hands. "You know your sister, well, her credit is it's a mess. She's had some bad luck." Bad luck, right? More like bad decisions and a shopping addiction. She really needs a stable place to live, and we found this great little condo just a few blocks away. It's perfect for her. But the bank, well, they won't approve her. They need a cosigner. "We do it," my dad chimed in, looking important. "But our debt to income is too tight with our own mortgage." The bank said no. "It would just be until she gets on her feet," Mom said, putting her hand on my arm. Her skin was soft. "Just to help her out. As a favor to us. You're so good with your money, Judith. Your credit is perfect. And me, being the good daughter, the reliable one." I signed. I sat in a stuffy bank office and I co-signed the mortgage. Brenda has been living in that condo, rent-free, ever since. My parents paid the mortgage payment. They said it was part of Brenda's inheritance they were giving her early. But my name and my credit were still on that loan. And then, as I sat there, the coffee getting cold in my cup, I remembered something else. Keith. About 6 months ago, he'd been stressed. "Babe," he'd said, I'm so close to paying off the last of my student loan. It's just this one last $2,000 payment. If I can just get rid of it, but my promotion bonus doesn't come through for another month." I didn't even hesitate. "Oh, my God, just let me pay it." "Don't be silly. You'll get me back when your bonus comes in. It's no big deal." "Are you sure?" he'd said, all relieved, kissing me. "You're a lifesaver. I'll pay you back the second that bonus hits." The bonus came. He got the promotion. We went out to a fancy dinner to celebrate. The money, he never paid it back. I'd mentioned it, once, casually. "Hey, did that bonus come through?" And he just said, "Oh, yeah, it's all tied up in my 401k, I'll get it to you." He just forgot. And I let it slide. Because, well, we were getting married. It was our money, right? I sat there, in that coffee shop, the noise of the espresso machine fading into the background. I stopped thinking, this is so unfair. I started thinking, this is my way out. I realized I couldn't make them love me. I couldn't make them respect me. But I could sure as hell stop making their lives easier. My brain just shifted. From sad, pathetic Judith to, I don't know. I wasn't going to be sad anymore. I was going to get even. I pulled up my email. I started looking through every invoice, every Venmo request, every dumb little document my mom had sent me about that rental. I wasn't talking about revenge like putting glue in their locks. I meant hitting them where it actually hurts. Money, comfort, reputation. The more I dug, the more I realized how much I'd let slide. My parents just assumed I'd never rock the boat. That was their big mistake. I started making a list. I didn't want to just ghost them and let them pretend I never existed. I wanted them to have to deal with what they did. I found a lawyer. A consultation, just to see. I Googled real estate lawyers near me and picked the one with the sharpest-looking woman on the website. I didn't want to do anything illegal. I just wanted to know my rights. I sat down in a high-backed leather chair, in an office that smelled like old books and money. A sharp woman named Ms. Alvarez listened to my story. She didn't flinch. She didn't say, "Oh, honey, that's terrible." She just took notes on a yellow legal pad. When I told her about the condo, she just smiled. A very small, very sharp smile. "Ms. Miller," she said, her voice crisp, "you are a part owner of that property. You are on the title. You are just as liable for that mortgage as they are. You have every right to force a sale to liquidate your asset. It's called a partition action. It's perfectly legal. And I will tell you, it will get very messy for them." "Messy," I said, feeling the first real spark of something. Messy is what I want. So, I started with Keith. I wasn't just going to text him. I was smarter now. I went home to Valerie's and I drafted a formal, registered email. To Keith Johnson. Subject: formal request for repayment of personal loan. I laid it all out. This email is a formal request for the repayment of the $2,000 personal loan provided to you on date. As we discussed, this was to be repaid upon your receiving your promotion bonus. I attached the screenshot of the original Venmo request and the text message where he promised to pay me back. Please remit payment in full within 15 business days to avoid further action. I sent it to his personal email and his work email. He replied almost instantly. From his work email. "Stupid. Judith, this is really petty. You know I'm good for it. Things are just a little tight right now." I replied, "This is not a discussion. It is a demand for repayment. 15 days. Then I drafted the big one. The email to my parents. And to Brenda. I even CC'd Ms. Alvarez's office. To Mom, Dad, Brenda. CC, Alvarez Legal Group. Subject: formal notice regarding property at 123 Maple Drive. Dear family. Per the advice of my legal counsel, Ms. Alvarez, I am formally requesting to be bought out of my financial and legal share of the property located at 123 Maple Drive. As a co-signer on the mortgage and title, I am no longer willing to carry this liability. If we cannot reach a suitable agreement for you to buy out my share within 30 days, I will be filing a partition action with the court to force a public sale of the property. Please have your lawyer contact my lawyer, Ms. Alvarez, at her office to discuss this matter. Do not contact me directly. Sincerely, Judith Miller. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. My hand was shaking. But I did it. I hit send. I closed my laptop. I sat there, breathing. Ping. My phone lit up. Less than 5 minutes. It was ringing. The screen read, Dad, mobile. I muted it. I just watched the screen light up. Over and over. He called 3 times in a row. Then the texts started rolling in. First from my mom, what are you doing? Call me right now. This isn't funny, Judith. A lawyer? Then from Brenda, what is this? You can't do this. This is my home. Then my dad again, Judith, pick up the phone. You've gone too far. We need to talk about this. Now. I left it on read. I didn't reply at all. Not for a couple of hours. I put my phone on silent, put my coat on, and just went for a walk. The city felt extra cold that day, but it helped. The air was sharp. It made me feel clear. I finally answered my dad after a bunch of missed calls, mostly because I knew if I didn't, he'd just show up at Valerie's door. He started yelling the second I picked up. Judith. What the hell is this? A lawyer? Are you insane? You're bringing lawyers into this family? I held the phone away from my ear. I waited for him to take a breath. And then I spoke. My voice was calm. Cold. I didn't even recognize it. Hello, Dad, I said. I'm not insane. I'm just dissolving a business partnership. This isn't a business, he roared. This is your sister's home. You're putting your sister out on the street. What is wrong with you? Brenda is a grown woman, I said, my voice flat. She can pay rent like everyone else. Or she can get a mortgage in her own name. But my name is coming off that loan. You have 30 days to buy me out, or the house goes on the market. He tried to argue. He said they didn't have that kind of money just lying around. He said Brenda's salary wasn't high enough to qualify on her own. He said I was putting the family in a tough spot. He said I was doing this just to punish them. You made your choice, I said. Now deal with it. Have your lawyer call Ms. Alvarez. I hung up. My phone immediately buzzed. A text from my mom. She wasn't even trying to be nice. You always do this. You make things so difficult for everyone. Your sister is in tears. I can't believe how selfish you are. I texted back, I'm not the one who made it difficult. I'm just not cleaning up your mess anymore. Talk to my lawyer. She called me selfish again. I put my phone face down on the table and went to make a sandwich, like it was any other day. Brenda tried to call me that night. From an unknown number. I picked up. I needed to hear it. I needed to hear how she'd spin it. You think you're so smart, don't you? She spat. No, hello. Just venom. You think you're so clever with your little lawyer. You're really going to make me homeless? Hello, Brenda, I said. How's Keith? There was a pause. What does he have to do with this? Oh, I just figured he'd be able to help. Since you're so in love. Maybe he can co-sign for you. Oh, wait, I said, I forgot. He's probably a little tight on cash. He still owes me $2,000. You're just jealous, she shrieked. You were always jealous of me. You can't stand that I'm happy. Your happiness isn't my problem, I said. My credit score is. And my name being tied to your condo is a problem. So get your finances in order and buy me out. Or move. You're just jealous because he picked me. I actually laughed. It was a cold, empty sound. He didn't pick you, Brenda. You were just the easier option. But you're about to find out, nothing with you is easy. Don't call this number again. I hung up. She called back. I let it ring. The next day, I followed up with Keith. He hadn't paid. This is your final reminder, I emailed him. Payment is due by date, or I will be filing a claim in small claims court. I'm sure your new boss at his company would be very interested to hear about it. He replied in an hour. You wouldn't. I replied, watch me. After that, nothing. Just quiet. Until the guilt trips started. My cousin Denise called. Judith, everyone's talking about how you're tearing the family apart. Your mom is a wreck. She told Aunt Sarah you threatened her. I didn't threaten anyone, Denise. I'm just protecting myself. Maybe they shouldn't have picked sides, I said. It's not that simple, she said, sounding frustrated. It's family. It really is that simple, Denise, I said, and I hung up. The group chat I was still in, just a few mutual friends with Valerie, started heating up. Someone screenshotted a post Brenda put on her private story. Something vague about snakes in the family and loyalty. I just posted the receipts. No commentary. Just a screenshot of my dad's text telling me I was never good enough. A screenshot of my mom's text telling me they were in love. The chat went dead silent. One guy messaged me privately, damn. I get it now. I'm sorry, Judith. I had no idea. Not that it fixed anything, but whatever. The calls from my parents started coming almost every night. Sometimes my dad, sometimes my mom. My dad tried reasoning. He tried yelling. He once even tried threatening to sue me if I forced the property sale. I just told him, go ahead. I'm well within my rights. My lawyer is happy to talk to yours. You should have thought about the consequences. He yelled some more. I hung up. My mom, she tried the emotional angle. She cried on the phone. Judith, please. You're tearing us apart. I don't know what to do. Your father is so stressed. Brenda is, she's a mess. She can't sleep. You did that, I told her, my voice hard. You did that when you chose her over me. When you told me to move on 5 minutes after my fiancé left me for my sister. She slammed the phone down. And then Brenda showed up. I was at Valerie's apartment. It was late, maybe 9 p.m. We were just watching some dumb movie on Netflix, eating pizza. A pounding on the door. Not a knock. A pound. Like someone was trying to break it down. Valerie and I just froze. We looked at each other. I know you're in there, Judith. We heard Brenda's voice, screaming, muffled through the door. Open this damn door, you little bitch. Valerie grabbed her phone. I'm calling the cops. No, I said, standing up. My heart was hammering. Wait. Let me handle this. I walked to the door. I looked through the peephole. It was her. Her face was red and blotchy, her hair a mess. I opened the door. Brenda was standing there. Her eyes were wild. And I could smell the wine on her from 3 feet away. You, she shrieked, and she tried to push past me, into the apartment. I stood my ground. I put my hand on her chest and stopped her. Get out, Brenda. You're not welcome here. You're not going to ruin my life over this, she screamed, trying to shove me again. My life? You're ruining everything. Dad's furious, Mom's a mess. All because you're a sore loser. Looks like you did that all by yourself, I said, my voice shaking, but firm. You and Keith. And she shoved me. Hard. With both hands. You little. I stumbled back. And just, something snapped. All those years. All the years of being the backup. All the years of being the good girl, of swallowing my anger, of just taking it. It was gone. I shoved her back. Harder. Get out. She looked shocked. Stunned. No one had ever pushed back at Brenda. She raised her hand, her fingers curled, to slap me. Valery was suddenly right there, between us, her phone up, the screen bright. That's enough. Get out of my apartment right now, or I am calling the police, and you can explain assault to them. Brenda, she just deflated. The fight went out of her. She just glared at me, her chest heaving. Defeated. She kicked the door frame on her way out. I hate you, she screamed down the hallway. I slammed the door. Locked it. Bolted it. I was shaking. But not from fear. It was adrenaline. If you are still listening, please help me like the video and comment the number 1 below, so I know that you are amazing, and I understand that you are accompanying me on this entire journey. Your help is a huge encouragement, cheering me on. Please comment number 1 so I can recognize you, and now, please listen to me continue my story. Valery she just looked at me. Her eyes were wide. Wow, she said. I've never seen you do that. Are you okay? I just nodded, my breath catching. Me neither. And yeah, I think I am. That night, of course, my mom texted me. Brenda told me what happened. You're out of control. You assaulted your sister. I texted back, if she ever comes near me or my friends again, I am filing a restraining order. Stay away from me. All of you. She said, don't threaten family. I replied, then tell her to stay away. The property thing, it dragged on for weeks. My parents tried to stall. Their lawyer tried to get an extension. Ms. Alvarez was a rock. The 30-day window is firm, she'd say in her calm, steely voice over the phone. My client's position has not changed. We will be filing the partition action on Monday. My dad called, his voice different. Not yelling. Begging. It was gross. Judith. Please. Just another 60 days. That's all I ask. Your mother, she's so stressed. Her blood pressure is up. Please. Don't do this to your mother. I forwarded the voicemail to Ms. Alvarez. I didn't reply. Eventually, they got a call from their lawyer. Their own lawyer basically told them they had no legal standing. They could either be bought out by me, which I wouldn't do, buy me out, which they couldn't afford, or sell. They caved. After a month, they caved. They couldn't buy me out. So the property, it went up for sale. Keith finally paid me. The full $2,000. It just appeared in my bank account. No message. No sorry. Just the money. I heard from Denise that the pressure was too much. He and Brenda were fighting. All the time. Apparently, living together in her condo wasn't the dream they thought it was, especially when she was a mess all the time and he was being hounded for money. He never signed up to be her. I don't know, her financial plan. The day the realtor put the for sale sign up in the condo lawn, my mom texted me just one sentence. I hope this was worth it. I didn't reply. I spent that night watching dumb YouTube videos and eating takeout with Valery. We just watched bad movies and laughed. The property sold. Fast. It's a seller's market, I guess. Brenda had to move out. My parents lost their little extra income stream, or whatever they called it. I got my share. It wasn't a fortune. It wasn't like some big inheritance windfall. But it was enough. Last I heard, Keith was out, too. He'd gone back to his old place. My family group chat, I assume, was dead. I'm not going to say it felt good. But it felt right. I didn't get even. I just stopped playing their game. I just stopped making their lives easy. I stopped being the one who fixed things, paid bills, kept secrets, made excuses. I just let the consequences hit. Now they have to figure out what to do without someone to clean up their mess. And this is the part one didn't expect. Like, I knew they'd be mad. I knew they'd be upset. But I didn't really picture what it looks like when the whole family structure just cracks. Honestly, it started weirdly quiet. Right after the property closed and the check hit my account, everyone went radio silent. Like, they just gave up. Like they thought if they ignored me long enough, maybe I'd just get bored and go away. And I was fine with that. I stayed out of their orbit. I didn't check their profiles. I didn't talk to anyone who would play messenger. I thought that would be it. That I'd just move on. But then, about a month after the place sold, it's like they all suddenly realized. I wasn't coming back. I wasn't going to call them. I wasn't going to be the one to apologize. My dad started first. Just these short, stupid texts. Hey. Call me. You got a minute? I left him on read. My mom followed up with a long message. All about how family comes first and how I was being stubborn and holding a grudge. How forgiveness is a virtue. I sent her a one-word reply. No. And then it kicked off. For real. I get this call from my cousin Denise. She's actually talking fast for once. She sounds frantic. Judith, she says, I'm worried. I'm worried about your grandma. Your parents they're fighting. Like, all the time. And Brenda moved back in with them. Into her old room. And things are they're bad. I just said, not my circus, Denise. Not my monkeys. Aren't you even a little sorry? She asked, her voice small. Not even a little, I said. And I hung up. Right after that. Brenda tried calling. I ignored it. So she sent me this wall of text. Just pages. You happy now? You've ruined everything. Hope it was worth it. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't reply. She called again. I picked up. She just started yelling. Screaming, actually. So, I hung up. She called back and left a voicemail, just breathing heavy for like 30 seconds. Then she hung up. Real mature. And then, my mom sent this group text. Just me. Her. And my dad. The kind of message where you know she's been crying. Please, it said. You're all we have left. It's not the same without you. You're all we have left. She said she wanted to have a family meeting. She wanted us all to talk. I didn't reply. My dad tried again. His voice on the voicemail was tired. Your sister made mistakes, Judith. But you're being dramatic. We can fix this. We're family. I sent back, there's nothing to fix. You made your choices. Aunt Sarah called me. The one who was at the Christmas dinner, smiling. Judith, you need to stop this. Your parents are exhausted. Brenda is a mess. I heard she and Keith broke up, you know. He just left her. Oh, I said. That's a shame. A shame, she squawked. Judith, she's living back at home. In her old childhood bedroom. People are starting to ask questions. This whole thing, it's like a divorce-level disaster for the family's reputation. It was always about me, I said, my voice quiet. You just didn't care until it cost you money. Or reputation. I hung up. My parents have been calling every day now. Seriously. Every single day. Sometimes multiple times. Just asking me to talk. My dad even showed up at Valerie's place one night. Valerie texted me from her room. Bro. Your dad's outside. Just standing on the sidewalk, looking up at my window. This is creepy. He called my phone. I didn't answer. He just stood out there. For like 20 minutes. Calling my name. Judy. Judith. Please. I just want to talk. I didn't answer the door. Valerie and I just sat in the dark. He eventually left. They started sending emails, too. Long ones. Pages and pages about how family means forgiveness. How they only wanted what's best for me. How they hope I can move on and come home. I just hit archive. Every single time. At this point, it's like they're performing. For each other. Not for me. I know the pattern. I know it so well. If they can just get me back in the house, if they can just get me to sit at that table, it's back to business as usual. Brenda on top. Me, cleaning up the mess. Not happening. The money from the property hit my account about 2 weeks ago. I used it to pay off a couple of big bills. And I used it for a security deposit. On a new place. A new apartment. I didn't give them the address. I keep my circle tiny now. Just Valerie. A couple of other friends. No one from the family. And what's wild is how much quieter my life is. I still get random messages. One time, my dad tried to guilt-trip me by saying, if something happens to your mother, it's on you. I just replied, don't. He didn't answer. My mom tried to play nice again. We just want to talk. I said, you did enough talking before. I could go on about the little things. How I saw Brenda. At the grocery store. I was in the frozen food aisle, just trying to pick out ice cream. And I looked up. And she was there. At the other end of the aisle. She looked awful. Her hair was greasy. She was wearing old sweats. Just a shadow of the golden child. Our eyes met. And she flinched. She just flinched and turned her cart around and just fled. Went right down another aisle. How my mom tried to corner me at a gas station. I was pumping gas, and her car pulled in. She got out, saw me, and just started walking over, her hands outstretched. Judith. Honey, please. I just put the pump back. Didn't even cap my tank. I got in my car, started it, and drove away. I left her standing there by the pump. But honestly, it's all just noise now. I guess my family always treated me like the spare. The reliable one. The backup plan. They only missed me when I stopped being useful. Brenda did what she did because she's always been told she can. That the rules don't apply to her. And my parents played along because she was the one they wanted to win. I had to be the one to end it. Because they never would. I'm not going to sit here and say I feel amazing. I'm not going to say I got some huge life lesson. I just did what I had to do. I'm angry. Yeah. I'm still angry. But I am not sorry. If you're listening to this, and you're thinking about whether you should just let people walk all over you, just because they're family, I hope this makes it pretty clear. I don't know what comes next. And honestly, I don't care. They can call. They can text. They can email. Whatever. I'm not picking up. They wanted a winner. Now they can deal with what that actually looks like. That's it. No sappy ending. Just done. Thank you for listening to my story. It means a lot to finally get it all out. If you've been through anything like this, or if you just stuck with me to the end, please let me know in the comments. Your support means more than you know. Take care of yourselves.